Please welcome Bellamy Young. You are in front of all your fans.
Well, gladiators, and I gotta tell you, I was feeling that last segment.
Really?
You guys too, right? They're words, right? They're words
yes.
You just can't. I have avoided the word, and we will pause here so I... Organism.
All right.
Since 7th grade,
what have you been saying?
Science class, nothing. You know, those little things.
What did you think it was?
Orgasm.
Oh, you thought it was orgasm. You thought it was orgasm.
I just was afraid that's what would come out.
Oh, girl, well, you know what? At this stage, say it all the time. If you say it enough, it'll happen.
If you build it, they will come.
If you build it, they will come. Boy, we got around standards and practices. Good morning. You know what? I tell you, I have enjoyed you for years on Scandal. I'm telling you, you were like... You were the president's wife that I started out. I didn't like you, but by the end, I was like, you better go on, girl. I was loving you. And you guys on Scandal, the Scandal cast, you guys are still close with each other. Y'all even reunited for the strike.
Yes, and Union Strong. I know we're not promoting the show. Union Strong. We all support the strike, but yeah.
Not at all. But I love that y'all were together during the strike, and you were just in Chicago with Kerry Washington.
Can I mention New York Times best-selling Kerry Washington?
Yes.
Today, like her book, Thicker Than Water, hit the New York Times bestsellers list today. So
that's what it is.
Let's go.
My God. And you moderated for her.
I did. We had such a good time.
Oh, man. I love it. You know, I love the fact that it's nice when you're with your cast and you're still close, but y'all call each other sisters.
Oh, yeah, Scandal sisters, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so when I heard that you have a group text.
We do.
So who's the annoying little brother in the group text?
Josh Molina.
Josh Molina?
Yeah.
He is.
And plus he's mellowed lately. Now he's like a sweetheart. But there was a while where he grew up. That's what I'll say. He was everybody's little brother for a minute, and now he's like, you know, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I love you so much. You are just, every time I see you, you just have a smile on your face.
Back at you.
Oh man, thank you. And you know, you have a smile because you have this TV family special. And I admire the fact that you can smile because you experience tragedy in your family.
Yes, and I'm grateful to be here today. Thank you for talking about this with me because it affects so many of us. And when it was happening to me and my family, we didn't know what was going on, and it was really isolating and scary and confusing. And we just didn't know what was happening. My dad was a drinker, and he was diagnosed with cirrhosis. But after that, he started having these cognitive and like physical issues, and we didn't know, we had no idea that a disease in your liver could cause any change in your cognition or behavior.
Really?
So we didn't know to look for symptoms. We weren't aware of what was happening, and eventually he was diagnosed with something called hepatic encephalopathy, but very, very late, because we weren't aware of what might be on our radar. But I'm here today because so much has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what were some of the signs that you didn't see?
I didn't see. Well, I was also at my worst because I was a teenager, so this was a long time ago.
Right. You look amazing.
But, you know, it would... the change in the smell of his breath, and I'd be like, oh, he's drinking during the day. Or he'd forget to pick me up at school or dance class or something, and I'd be like, you know, like just so, it's all about you, you're very resentful. Spent a lot of time in therapy working through my regrets about how I handled this time in my life. But then it got really, he was an auditor for the state, so like numbers were his life, and the numbers started not making sense, and one night he couldn't find his way home from work, and that's when we got him back to the doctor to say, is something going on?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, Oh, it's probably hepatic encephalopathy. You can say HE because we were like, what are those words? And this is what happens. There are toxins in your stomach, your liver isn't functioning, so it's not getting rid of them, and so they back up in your bloodstream and they affect your brain. They just fog up your brain.
This whole journey, this whole story, like, what was the takeaway?
Well, the takeaway is that no one should feel alone or uninformed. Okay. So I don't want anybody to have to go to therapy or to feel sad or anything, you know, like we did. And so I'm very grateful to have partnered with Salix. They have a great website. It's called understandinghe.com. And there's so much information there because there's so much to know. Yes. And then you can just like have conversations with your doctor, ask questions about what you might be looking for or what you might be facing, but also know that there's community.
That there's a community that can help you.
Yeah.
I love this. I love that this happened, that you found that community.
Yeah.
And I know your dad will be so happy for all of your success.
I mean, I wish we'd all known it when he was here.
You know, your success, people don't know your journey. You fought really hard for your career. Boy, people say, you know, it's just like, yeah. People tell you no all the time. They told you that.
Yes, there's a lot of no's.
It's a lot of no's. Especially being our age, they would use that against you.
And 100%. Oh yeah. If you're not, you know, born thin and 22 and stays 22, but I feel like I feel lucky because it didn't happen till later. And I've seen you talk about this too. Like. It just, I wouldn't have been ready, and I'm so grateful for it every minute. And anytime I get to talk to anybody like about that show, we're not mentioning because we were supporting a strike, about anything, you know, it's an honor to get to be in people's lives, you know?
Absolutely. And I just want to thank you because I remember texting you when I had a deal for my own show, and I texted you and I was like, Bellamy, what should I do? What, you know, and you texted me back and gave me advice. So I want to thank you for that sisterhood that you
still in my phone, Sherri. You still in my phone.
They didn't believe I knew you. I was like, here's Bellamy's number.
I got it.
But this is another thing. I'm grateful for your sisterhood. Somebody's grateful for you. You found love with your husband, Pedro, okay? Pedro, look at... You never thought you would be married.
No, I did not. I did not.
Oh, my goodness.
I like him. You guys, he's nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where did you meet Pedro, girl?
We did a gig in LA.
I want to do a gig in LA.
Yes.
Yeah.
He plays, he's a percussionist, he plays timpani, so there were like 14 actors and like a 16-piece orchestra, and all my little Insta stories, I'm like sort of center stage, and he's above me in the timpani. Right. And we met at the show afterwards. I thought he was looking at my next-door neighbor that was my +1, and I thought, I'm so jealous of Russ. And then he was just gonna make sure we weren't married. Yes. And then he asked me out. Woo!
He asked you out. So I know I love a man with an accent. I love any kind of Portuguese accent, any kind of like, does he have an accent?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what kind of things does he say? That just makes me melt. What kind of things does he say?
I mean, everything sounds very sexy and sweet. Yes. And also, like, you have to listen harder. Like, you don't take anything for granted. Yeah. So there's a tenderness in the first place. But, girl, I'll tell you, it melts me when he, in his Portuguese accent that, like, has lived in London for 20 years, speaks French to me.
Oh, what does he say? Give me something he said.
Honey, I can't. I'm not good enough.
Like, we had a chef
I would just say organism.
Organism. I don't care what you say. I don't have to understand nothing, girl.
Exactly.
Organism. Look, just go into it. Just keep going. Orgasm.